A very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Civics second year class. Today we will start with VSAQs from your 5th chapter. Yesterday we have discussed VSAQs from chapter 1, 2, 3 and 4. Today we will discuss VSAQs from other chapters. Your 5th chapter, that is Union-State relations or Center-State relations. So what are the important questions of this chapter? Okay. So, first one is, what are two elements that determine union-state legislative relations? See, when we are saying legislative relations, what do you mean by legislative relations? Legislative relations means related to law making, relation between the center and the state related to law making. See, in India, we have federal form of government. We have central government and state government. So, both central and state government will make the laws. So, legislative relations, they are determined on two elements, on two bases we can say. The first one is territorial jurisdiction. First one is territorial jurisdiction, that is based on the territory. So, the laws made by the parliament, the laws made by the central legislature, that is parliament, they are applicable throughout the country based on the territorial jurisdiction. The laws made by the parliament are applicable throughout the country, whereas the laws made by the state legislature or state assembly, okay, laws made by the state assembly are applicable only in that state, in that particular state. For example, if Indian Parliament is making any law, it is applicable to all the states. It is applicable throughout the country. And if Telangana government is making any law, that is applicable only in the state of Telangana. If Maharashtra government is making any law, it is applicable in only Maharashtra. Okay, so that is territorial jurisdiction. Okay, next is subject-wise jurisdiction. What is subject-wise jurisdiction? For lawmaking, the administrative subjects are divided into three lists. Okay, for lawmaking, the administrative subjects are divided into three lists, that is union list, state list and concurrent list. Okay, so the items which are in union list, parliament will make the laws. The items which are in state list, state legislature will make the laws. Whereas the items which are in concurrent list, both center and state will make the laws. Both center and state will make the laws. So, subject-wise jurisdiction, it is for making laws on the administrative items or subjects. So, it is divided into three lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. I hope I am clear with this question. Now, coming to your next question. How are legislative matters divided between union and states? So, how lawmaking is divided between union and states? Okay. So, in union list, we have 99 subjects on which parliament will make laws. Okay. In union list, we have 99 subjects on which parliament will make the laws. Then in state list, we have 61 subjects on which state legislature will make laws. State legislature will make laws. So, in union list, we have 99 subjects. In state list, we have 61 subjects and we have 52 subjects in the concurrent list on which both state and center will make the laws. And there is another list called residuary powers. The items which are not in this three list, they are called as residuary items. Then Parliament will make laws on those items. So I hope I am clear with these two questions. Next. Here you are being asked, write a note on union list. This is the repeated question. Write a note on union list. Okay. So union list includes all the subjects on which Parliament will make the laws. Okay. So all these items which are of national importance are included in that list. In union list, we have all the subjects or items which are of national importance and Parliament will make the laws. So it has got 99 subjects. In previous question we have done this. Union list has got 99 subjects. Few examples like defense, railways, banking, insurance, okay, then foreign affairs. On all these items, Parliament will make the laws. And the laws made by the Parliament, they are applicable throughout the country. All of us have to follow the laws made by the Parliament. That is your union list. The next question is Niti Aayog. Most important and repeated question. Niti Aayog. So what is the full form of Niti Aayog? It is National Institution for Transforming India Aayog. You are studying Niti Aayog in economics also. So what is Niti Aayog? It is National Institution for Transforming India Aayog. It came into force on 1st January 2015. Okay. What is the aim? It aims at improving center-state relations. To improve center-state relations. See, actually this Niti Aayog, it replaced Planning Commission. Earlier we had Planning Commission which used to make 5 years plans for the development of the country. Then this Planning Commission was abolished and Niti Aayog was formed in 2015. Okay, here we felt that both state and center should cooperate with each other for the development of the country. So it is to improve center-state relations. Now this Niti Aayog, it is headed by Prime Minister. So Prime Minister is the chairman of Niti Aayog. So what are the objectives of Niti Aayog? To eliminate poverty, to reduce inequalities and cooperative federalism. The center and state governments should cooperate for the development of the nation. Okay. Now, we know the chairman is Prime Minister and it also consists of chief ministers of all the states and lieutenant governors of union territories. So, lieutenant governors, they are representing union territories and chief ministers, they are representing states. So, this is your Niti Aayog. Most repeated question. Okay. Next is concurrent list. The next question is concurrent list. So, what is concurrent list? Just now we have discussed there are 52 subjects in concurrent list. Both central government and state government have powers to make laws on the subjects in the concurrent list. Okay. Example, we have marriage and divorce, education also comes under it. Okay, there are 52 items. If there is a conflict, suppose both central government and state government making law on the same subject on the same time, at the same time, okay, central government is making law, state government is also making law. So under such situation, whose laws to be followed? The laws made by the union government. Okay, the laws made by the union government will be followed in case of conflict. Conflict may arise when both center and the state are making law on a particular item. Okay, for example, education. Okay, both central government and state government making laws at a time on education. Then whose laws have to be followed? The laws made by the union government or central government. Okay, next is residuary powers. Residuary powers. Residuary means leftover. So the items which are not in the union list, state list or concurrent list, they come under residuary items. The items or subjects which are not included in this three lists, union list, state list and concurrent list, they come under residuary items. Then who will make the laws? Who has the power to make the laws? The central government, that is the parliament, the union legislature has the power to make laws on the residuary items. So examples of your residuary items is making laws on software and hardware. Okay, cyber laws. Okay, so only central government can make laws on the items which are in residuary list. Okay, next is write about composition of finance commission. You have to write a few points about finance commission. I think you are studying finance commission in economics also. Okay, so what is finance commission? Finance commission will help the government in making financial decisions. So the finance commission, it consists of chairman and 4 members. So totally we have 5 members in finance commission, 1 chairman and 4 other members. And the members and chairman of finance commission, they are appointed by President of India. They are appointed by the President of India. This finance commission, it will review the financial position of the government. So, who can be appointed as the chairman and members of finance commission? A person having perfect knowledge in law or finance or administration or economics can be appointed as its members. So, person having perfect knowledge in law, finance, administration, economics, they can be appointed as the members of finance commission. So, Article 280 and 81 of our constitution deals with the composition, powers and functions of finance commission. It will review the financial position of the government. See, when we have discussed, state finance commission, and when we were dealing with 73rd and 74th Amendment Act, I told you State Finance Commission will review the financial position of the local bodies. Here, the Finance Commission, the Central Finance Commission, it will review the financial position of the governments. Next is, write a brief note on Sarkariya Commission. We have done a question on Sarkariya Commission, a SAQ, important SAQ. Sometimes they'll ask the same for 2 marks. You need to write only the introduction, few lines. Okay, so Sarkaria Commission was set up by the Union government in 1983. When did this commission set up? It was set up in 1983. And this commission was headed by Ranjit Singh Sarkaria, R.S. Sarkaria. We can also write like this, R.S. Sarkaria, Ranjit Singh Sarkaria. And the commission submitted its report in 1987. Why this commission was formed? This commission was formed to suggest how to improve central-state relations. How to improve central-state relations. For that, Sarkaria Commission was formed in 1983. And the commission, it submitted its report in 1987. So, it had submitted some 230 recommendations, out of which 180 recommendations were implemented in 1997. Okay, in 1997, around 180 recommendations of Sarkaria Commission were implemented. Next is Interstate Council. Interstate Council. See, we know if at all there is any dispute between the states under, original jurisdictions of the Supreme Court, we have seen that if there is any dispute between the states, they can directly approach to Supreme Court. So, instead of going to the Supreme Court directly, the states and the governments of the states, they can resolve their disputes. How? For that, the president can form interstate council. The president can form an interstate council to inquire into the disputes which are arising between the states. So, Prime Minister will be the, and it consists of chief ministers of Puducherry. Okay, all the chief ministers, including the chief minister of Delhi and Puducherry, are the part of interstate council. So, interstate council, it consists of prime minister and chief ministers of states and union territory of Delhi and Puducherry. Along with them, the prime minister will nominate 6 union cabinet ministers. 6 union cabinet ministers, they are nominated by the prime minister, okay, and it will inquire into the disputes between the states. If there are disputes between the states, it can be resolved in this interstate council. Okay. Coming to your next chapter, your 6th chapter, local government. Okay. So, again you will get 2 questions from this chapter, 2 VSQs you can expect. The first question is Gram Panchayat. What is Gram Panchayat? Gram Panchayat, it works at the village level. Village is the smallest unit of administration. For every village, you will have a Gram Panchayat. You will have, 5 heads of the villages. Okay, Panchayat means 5 heads. And Sarpanch is the political head and the presiding officer of the Gram Panchayat. So, every Gram Panchayat, it is headed by the Sarpanch. He is the head of those 5 panchayats or members, you can say. Its members are directly elected by the people. The panchayat is directly elected by the people of that particular village. So, what are the main functions of panchayat? To look into the provision of drinking water, electricity, street lights, Okay, maintaining birth and death records, okay, in that particular village. Okay, whether people are getting clean drinking water, do they have access to electricity, do they have street lights in their villages, and it will also record the birth and deaths in the village. Okay, that is Gram Panchayat. The next question is Gram Sabha. Again, this Gram Sabha, most important, most repeated question. So every Gram Panchayat, every Panchayat has a Gram Sabha. So every Panchayat will have a Gram Sabha. The Gram Sabha, it consists of all the voters of the village. So what is the composition of Gram Sabha? It consists of all the voters in the village. And it meets 3 times in a year. Every year it will meet for 3 times and they will make some administrative laws. And the meetings of Gram Sabha are presided over by the Sarpanch. Sarpanch will conduct the meetings of Gram Sabha. Okay, Sarpanch will conduct the meetings of Gram Sabha. And during the meetings, they will discuss and approve administrative and audit reports of the Gram Panchayat. So they will, see how Gram Panchayat is functioning. They'll audit the reports of Gram Panchayat and how Gram Panchayat is functioning. That is also reviewed. Okay, they will discuss about the functioning of the Gram Panchayat in Gram Sabha. Okay. Next is Sarpanch. Sarpanch is the political head of the Gram Panchayat. Okay, he presides the meeting of Gram Sabha as well as Gram Panchayat. He presides the meeting of Gram Panchayat and Gram Sabha. Sarpanch is directly elected by the people of the village. The people of the village will elect the Sarpanch, and it is his responsibility to implement the resolutions passed by the Gram Panchayat and Gram Sabha. So whatever resolutions are passed by the Panchayat and Gram Sabha, that has to be implemented by the Sarpanch. So we have discussed in the first line itself that he is the political head of Panchayat, Gram Panchayat. Okay. Next question is mayor. See, when we discuss Gram Panchayat and Gram Sabha, it is related to rural local government. Now we will discuss urban local government. The important question here is about mayor. Who is the mayor? He is the political head of municipal corporation. Mayor is the political head of the municipal corporation, and he is elected by the elected members of municipal corporation. The members of municipal corporation who are elected, they will elect the mayor. Okay, the elected members of municipal corporation, they elect the mayor. Okay, and he will conduct or presides the meeting of the municipal corporation. Okay, and it is his responsibility to implement all the resolutions passed, okay, by the corporation, or it is his responsibility to see the proper implementation of cooperation work. Is municipal corporation is functioning properly or not? That is, responsibility of mayor. The progress is development of a municipal corporation area. Development of a particular municipal area, it depends on the active initiative and role of the mayor. The mayor is active, and if he is working for the development of his area, then that area will develop fast. So the development of a municipal area, municipal corporation area, it completely depends on the mayor. Completely depends on the mayor. I hope I am clear with this question. Next is Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. Next question is Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. Now this Balwant Rai Mehta Committee was constituted by the central government, that is Government of India. It constituted Balwant Rai Mehta Committee in 1957. It was constituted in 1957. Why this committee was formed? To study about democratic decentralization. Okay, this committee, it studied democratic decentralization. That means how we can divide the powers between the different levels of the government. So this Balwant Rai Mehta Committee, it suggested 3-tier Panchayat Raj system. Okay, the Panchayat Raj system, it should have 3 levels. Okay, and it also suggested that it should provide adequate finances to them. Sufficient finances are also required. Then only they will be able to function. Like we have 3 levels. For village, we have village panchayat. Villages together will form a mandal. For mandal, we have mandal parishad, and few mandals together will form a district or zilla. For that, we have zilla parishad. So we have 3 levels at Panchayat Raj system. Okay. So Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh before the formation of Telangana state. Okay, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh, these were the 2 states. These were the 2 states who started Panchayat Raj system based on the recommendations of the Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. Based on the recommendations of Balwant Rai Mehta Committee, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh, they started Panchayat Raj system in their states. The government of Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh. Next is Commission. State Election Commission. Commission at the state level. So it is responsible for conducting free and fair elections for rural governments and urban governments. Okay, the election for the rural government and the urban government is conducted by the State Election Commission, and the State Election Commission is appointed by the Governor of the state. Okay, the State Election Commission is appointed by the Governor of the state. It is responsible for conducting elections for urban local government and rural local government. The next question is State Finance Commission. In 5th chapter also we have discussed about Finance Commission. Again, Finance Commission. So that was your Central Finance Commission. Here it is State Finance Commission. So the Constitution has provided a Finance Commission for rural and urban government. What the Finance Commission will do? It will review the financial position. It will review the financial position of rural government and urban government, that is your panchayat and the municipalities. Okay, and it will forward necessary recommendations. If at all any recommendations are there, it will forward it to the cabinet, that is the state cabinet. Okay, it consists of chairman and 4 members, and the governor of the state, again the governor of the state will constitute or appoint the State Finance Commission. Remember, always see, when we are saying, Central Election Commission or State Election Commission or Central Finance Commission and State Finance Commission. The Central Election Commission and Central Finance Commission, it is appointed by President. The President will appoint Central Election Commission and Central Finance Commission. The Governor of the state will appoint State Finance Commission and State Election Commission. Okay, don't get confused with this. When it is central, the President is making the appointment, and if it is states, okay, the Governor is making the appointments. Okay, am I clear with this? Okay. So let us move to the next. Next chapter, your election system in India, your 7th chapter. 7th chapter is election system in India. So, very few questions in this chapter. Okay, so let us discuss them. When is National Voters Day observed? This was asked in March. This question was asked. When is National Voters Day is observed? On 25th of January every year, we celebrate National Voters Day. Why do we celebrate National? Because it was on this day. It was on 25th January 1950. Our election commission was established. Our election commission was established. So for that reason, we celebrate 25th January as National Voters Day. Simple, just remember, in the year 1950, on 25th January, Election Commission was established, Election Commission of India was established. So we celebrate it as National Voters Day. Okay. As a foundation day of Election Commission. Like recently we have celebrated 2nd June as Telangana Formation Day. Similarly, 25th January is Election Commission's Foundation Day. Okay. Next is, what are electronic voting machines? EVM. You may get question like this. What is EVM? What are EVMs? They may not ask you complete electronic voting machines. They may ask EVM, short form. So, the system of manual ballot papers. Okay, earlier we used to vote through our ballot papers. Is replaced with electronic voting machines. So, EVMs are electronic voting machines. Okay, so one EVM, one ballot unit of EVM, it can record the votes of 64 contestants. It records the votes of 64 contestants, and this EVMs were used or introduced in 1999 in 45 Lok Sabha constituencies. At 45 Lok Sabha constituencies, EVMs were used for the first time in 1999, and later we started using EVMs in all elections. Okay, the next is, what is psephology? What is psephology? Psephology, it is the study of voting behaviors of the voters. What is psephology? It is the study of voting behavior of the voters. So, while studying the behavior of voters, they will consider or they will use past voting data, public opinion polls, okay, campaign finance information, that means during campaigning how much money was spent by the political parties, and similar statistical data is used to know about the trends in voting. Okay, it also studies the poll surveys. They will also study the poll surveys. So, what are poll surveys then? So, poll surveys, they are the it is the study of voting behavior of the voters. Through surveys, we try to understand the voting behavior of the voters. So, these poll surveys are of three types. That is pre-poll survey, exit poll survey, and post-poll survey. Pre-poll means before the elections. Pre-poll surveys are done before the elections. Exit poll, it is done after the elections, but before the results are declared. Okay, after elections, after the voting is over, before the results are declared, they will do exit poll survey. And post-poll survey is done after the results of elections are declared, to know why a particular party lost or why a particular party won the elections. Okay, so pre-poll is before the elections. Exit poll is after voting, after elections, but before the results are declared. And post-polls are after the results are declared. Okay, the next is write about electoral photo identity card, EPIC. Electoral photo identity cards. Now, this system of electoral photo identity cards are introduced in 1993 for the first time, okay, by the then election commissioner. Okay, that time the chief election commissioner was T.N. Session. Okay, T.N. Session, he was the chief election commissioner in 1993. He introduced this photo identity cards, electoral photo identity cards. So, he said that Election Commission of India will issue photo identity cards to all the voters, all the eligible voters will get one electoral photo identity card, and the voters should bring this card at the time of voting to cast their vote. Okay, when you are going to vote, you should carry your photo identity card, electoral photo identity card. Why this system or why these cards were introduced? It was introduced as a reform to prevent bogus voting, false voting, bogus voting. Okay, I did not go for voting. Somebody else on my behalf has voted. So, to prevent such type of bogus voting, okay, electoral photo identity cards were introduced in 1993. Okay. So, with that, we have completed your seventh chapter, that is election system in India. Now let us move to your next chapter, that is eighth chapter, contemporary issues in Indian politics. So what are the issues we face? We face the problem of corruption, terrorism, displacement. So questions related to those 2 marks questions. The first one is, what are the forms of corruption? What are the different forms of corruption? So before understanding the forms of corruption, let us say the meaning or definition of corruption. The corruption means using public office for private gains or profit. Using public office for private use, gains or profit, you can say. You are using your position for personal gains. What are the different forms of corruption? It is bribery, favoritism, nepotism, communalizers and undue influence. So bribery, here you are giving bribe in form of cash or gifts. Favoritism, you are favoring somebody. Okay, nepotism, you are favoring a person having a background. Only for a particular family he belongs, you are favoring him. Okay, then communalizer, here you are doing favoring based on the community, and undue influences using your positions. These are the different forms of corruption. Simple question. What are the different forms of corruption? Next is whistleblowers. Again, important question can be asked. Whistleblowers. Who are the whistleblowers? Okay, just to understand this whistleblower. Okay, why do we have watchmen? If they see any threat, they will blow the whistles, right? In the event of threat, the watchman, he will blow the whistles and he will alert us. Similarly, the activist who give information about corruption in the government offices and alerts the people. What is he doing? He is providing information about the government officers who are corrupt, who are involved in corruption, and he is alerting the people. They are called as whistleblowers. A person or activist who tries to expose the corruption in the government offices, okay, by alerting the people. Okay, they are called as whistleblowers. So their life is under threat. They need protection against such corrupt officials. So government should provide protection to such activists. Okay, so for this, Union government has passed a resolution, that is PIDR, Public Interest Disclosure Resolution, to protect these whistleblowers. So when a whistleblower is trying to corrupt officials, he can do it through this Public Interest Disclosure Resolution. So if he is using this Public Interest Disclosure Resolution, he will get protection from the government. He will be protected by the government. Next is characteristics of terrorism. Characteristics of terrorism. What is terrorism? It is organized and planned act of violence. It is an act of violence which is organized and planned, well planned. Okay, and mostly they aim innocent people, police officers or the government employees. The target of these terrorists is innocent people, police officers. Okay, in case of sandalwood terrorism, the target of the terrorists will be the forest officer, and government employees. Sometimes political leaders are also their targets. So this terrorism, it is an unofficial war with the government. They have no issues with the general people, but they have problem with the government. So they target innocent people to pressurize the government. So it is an unofficial war with the government. So terrorism is always unlawful and anti-democratic. It is against democracy and it is not lawful. You should not indulge to fulfill your demands, to pressurize the government. You cannot target innocent people. Next is merits and demerits of coalition politics. What is coalition? When no party secures majority, it will take support of other parties and they will form the government. So it has some merits and demerits. Let us see them. So coalition politics reduces the difference between the central and the state governments, and it could bring an alternative to the Congress party. See, Congress party was the majority party for a long period of time. So to get an alternative for the Congress party, other political parties, they came together. Okay. So the demerit is it leads instability. You cannot say that government will complete its tenure, because if the parties which are supporting, they can withdraw the support. So it leads to instability, and there is political bargain. It also known as politics of bargain. Why this political leaders or political parties are supporting? They have their own interest, okay, for their personal interest. They want to come into power, they want position. So it leads to politics of bargain. So with this, we have completed your 8th chapter VSAQs. Okay, so I'll conclude my session here. Tomorrow we'll continue with the VSAQs of